Roaster at $1.99 per pound. Regular pasta sauce, 24 to 29 ounce jar. Hot price, $2.69. Tama spaghetti, linguine, or fettuccine pasta, 500 gram bag. Hot price, $1.69. Chobani Greek yogurts, 5.3 ounce tub. Hot price, $1.69. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Wednesday, January 16th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. The Bermuda Health Council is moving to implement measures that could save more than $60 million in health care premiums. Here's Mike Sharp with more on that cost-saving initiative.
Health Council Director Ricky Brathwaite said the Health Accounts Report says costs have increased overall and that they are moving towards changes and transformation to the system, and collaboration with all stakeholders must take place in order to make changes happen. Mr. Brathwaite said one of the important factors is the collection of data and addressing co-pay bills. Premier David Burt stated during the delegates conference that he would like to see health care premiums reduced by $100 per person.
Your progressive Labour Party government is now going to final consultation on a plan written in 2012 when the PLP was last in office, which will reduce everybody's costs of health insurance. That is a promise that we made in our platform to implement the National Health Plan, and we are doing just that. I believe that reducing everyone in the country's health insurance costs, from seniors to young people to employers to working families, will be one of the best things that we can do for this economy. Just imagine if everyone paid $100 less per month in health insurance. Think of the savings for a family of four. Think of the savings for employers. This change will make our economy stronger, and the Progressive Labour Party will deliver this change.
Mr. Brathwaite had this reaction on what sort of savings this would bring about.
Let's work those numbers. So within the healthcare population, within the population of Bermuda, there are about 49,000 individuals who are insured. Those are the individuals that we're talking about in terms of premiums. Within those 49,000 people, if you take $100 and reduce their premiums every month, that's, if you take the 49,000 times 12 months times $100 a month, that's close to $60 million. So let's think about this as a system, from a system view. If we were going to reduce premiums for everyone by $100, we'd have to reduce the cost of the system by about $60 million every year, because you can't just do it 1 year. And then what's going to happen then, if you don't sustain that, it's going to be a situation where you're just going to bounce back to where you were.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
A promise of more heightened police presence on the streets. It comes from Police Commissioner Stephen Corbishley, who explains the move is all part of a new policing plan announced earlier this week, a plan which the commissioner stated then will see a return of the parish constables.
Bottom line is, parish constables aside, we're moving to a different shift structure, which will see the availability of more officers. We're deploying our CID officers out into the parishes, and certainly that's a change in direction that we've had before, that we're going to have detectives working in local communities. Our specialist resources, again, are being changed in the way in which they're structured, from the specialist capability that we've got through firearms officers, but also our roads policing unit as well. We're going for a very comprehensive civilianisation programme to maximise the number of officers, and one of the things that I challenge the service very much around is that if somebody is a warranted police officer, they should be doing a front-facing role and not necessarily in an office. Let's get them into local communities, let's get them accessible, and we're maximising in every which way possible the number of uniform officers that we have on the street. So to respond to your question and your challenge, that very much is a core part of the Ambitions programme.
How soon can we expect to see that kicking into high gear? Not even the crawling stages?
Well, it's starting now. I mean, it's set over a 2-year period because there's some things that obviously we will progress, but the parish constables are in the process of being selected, and my keenness is that we see that deployed within the next couple of months. We move to a new shift structure.
What does that new shift structure look like?
Well, this is actually around, and we've had some excellent discussions with the Bermuda Police Association, and we're just in the final stages of agreeing a 12-hour shift pattern. That maximises the amount of resources we've got on the street. It actually gives them a longer duty time, so their ability to attend to issues is far greater. And equally, that shift pattern will apply to some of our other uniform officers, particularly on the specialist services. And the plan for that is in the early part of February to go live.
Commissioner Corbishley speaking with Gary during our Let's Talk program. And we'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Stay with us.
At Argus, our interest is you. Each of you. Around here, we know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs. For their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
Price Rate is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce, and an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world, and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone.
Toyota Rush, Bermuda's biggest SUV with 7 seats. There's always plenty of room. Available at Bermuda Motors.
Students up to postgraduate level now have the chance to apply for the government's newly relaunched internship programs. Premier David Byrd says $70,000 has been budgeted to support 3 programs to benefit young Bermudians looking for careers in public service. 3 internship programs are being developed by the Cabinet Office to provide hands-on work experience for young people. Premier Byrd says the decision is in keeping with a key throne speech initiative.
These experiences will make the young men and women who participate better employees, more strategic thinking public servants, and most importantly, better citizens.
The first in the series is a Department of Workforce Development Enhanced program, set to run from June to August, suitable for university undergraduate students. They will get to choose to work in an area of their interest.
Top 5 undergraduate summer student applicants will be nominated for this program and assigned to the Cabinet Office to work on significant projects in the area of policy and strategy in the delivery of government's initiatives.
The second program will have students sent to work at Bermuda's overseas offices based in London, Brussels, or Washington, D.C.
There will be a summer internship program, which will see 3 postgrad or master's degree candidates assigned to our overseas offices. This attachment will be for up to 12 weeks, providing invaluable experience in an international setting.
2 high school students will also be eligible to gain overseas experience.
We will have 2 leadership scholars drawn from the top students of the Barclay and the Cedar Ridge Academy, who will join the Bermuda delegation to the Heads of Government meeting of CARICOM later this year.
Glenisha Simmons and Derek Lamb are now full-time public officers after completing a previous Cabinet Office internship program. Interns accepted into the enhanced program or summer internship will be paid $1,000 per week, which the Premier says is already included in the budget.
Absolutely. The total budget amount for this, the initiatives of which I've laid out, is $70,000, and those items will be met from our existing budget and reallocation of existing funds. So there's no new money that I'm asking the Minister of Finance for.
But it's uncertain whether Bermuda's Washington, D.C. office will be reopened in time for the arrival of interns.
Right now, Bermuda's operations are maintained by a company that is our lobbyist of record, and the attachment for the person who's selected there, if the Washington, D.C. office is not yet open at that time, we'll be working on Bermuda matters with our overseas representatives.
The last government summer internship program took place in 2016. More news from that press conference. Premier David Burt will be traveling to the World Economic Forum next week in Davos, Switzerland. The annual meeting hosts members of more than 100 governments, leaders of prominent global companies and international organizations to discuss pressing issues. The premier says that his attendance this year is of significance, as he claims he's the only overseas territories leader to be invited.
While in Davos, I will participate in a series of meetings and discussions on global topics ranging from technology and education to social issues and the environment. Joining me in Davos will be Mr. Andy Burrows, CEO of the Bermuda Business Development Agency, and Mr. Dennis Pitcher, FinTech consultant to the government of Bermuda. We will be using this excellent opportunity to advance this government's agenda for growth and economic diversification, while we continue to promote Bermuda as a leading jurisdiction for international companies. We will also use the platform to meet with global companies that have Bermuda entities but currently no physical presence, to discuss our approach to economic substance and why Bermuda will be the right choice for multinational corporations to establish physical operations to meet the new global requirements. We will also speak to foreign investment opportunities in Bermuda, not only in international business and infrastructure development, but also in hospitality and tourism.
The Premier also gave reassurance that Bermuda is still open for business, while the UK races against time to secure a new Brexit deal.
Uncertainty is unfortunate, and it's unfortunate for the United Kingdom. But from the perspective where Bermuda stands, Bermuda has a solid and stable government, a very strong history of sound regulation, and from the perspective of our message to our international companies and partners, is this is a reason why Bermuda stands apart. We are stable, unlike the instability that is being seen in the United Kingdom. And so from the perspective of which we have, we are going to continue to monitor the events of the United Kingdom, but we're also going to make sure that we remind our international partners that from an insurance perspective, Bermuda does have Solvency II equivalence. There is not a question as to whether or not companies operating inside the United Kingdom will have that access. They may have that question over on the UK side, but from the Bermudian perspective, we intend to maintain that equivalence, and we must view this as an opportunity for Bermuda to expand its operations. It is unfortunate for the United Kingdom what they're going through, but we cannot allow the internal political turmoil that they are doing to distract from our mission, which is to attract additional companies to Bermuda to provide jobs and opportunities to Bermudians.
Staying with the topic of the UK, British Prime Minister Theresa May remains in power after narrowly surviving a motion of no confidence in her government today. She won by a margin of just 19 votes, 325 to 306. Yesterday, Mrs. May's Brexit deal was overwhelmingly rejected by MPs. Giving her reaction today, Mrs. May told the House of Commons she would, quote, continue to work to deliver on the solemn promise to the people of this country to deliver on the result of the referendum and leave the European Union, end quote. The motion of no confidence was tabled by Labour's opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn. The UK has until March 29th to settle on a clear way forward for Brexit. Weather now and cooler temperatures are expected to lift as we head into the remainder of the week. Let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast here on ZBM is brought to us by the good folks at the BF&M Insurance Group. A couple of isolated sprinkles out there nearby earlier today. We're in better shape for the most part. You can see the satellite estimates of where the rain has been. Off to the east, we're in better shape, 63 degrees. It's a little bit of a cool breeze, but it's a light wind from the northwest at 5 to 10 knots. Humidity is around 60 to 65%. We do have some relatively large waves on the outside, but on the inside we're down to 1 to 2 feet at this point. When we look at the upcoming tides, we don't have any marine-related alerts, so that's better news for the boaters as the winds subside a bit. Low tide 10:14. The tide will come back in until 4:54, just before 5 a.m. on Thursday. Another low tide in the late morning on Thursday, and then high tide at 5:04 p.m. Tonight, patchy clouds, lighter winds, 58 degrees for your low. Kind of a cool day, but a nice one tomorrow. Partial sunshine, 66 degrees. And looking at futurecast, you can see the stripe of showers pushes away to the east even farther. So we're looking at a fairly quiet and pleasant day with light winds. Here's one storm system moving through the eastern United States. That will eventually produce a little bit of a shift in the wind in a few days for us. And then there's a stronger one that will deliver some cooler air for us. That hits next week. But down into the Caribbean, we have temperatures into the mid-80s out there. Scattered showers in many areas. The trade winds are driving a few of these through Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad, as well as Tobago, and many areas in between as well. We're cold into eastern parts of North America. Toronto, 25 for the high. New York, 32. Boston, a chilly 28. Atlanta, light rain. By the way, Boston will see some snow tonight, or tomorrow night, I should say, into early Friday morning, which will be their first significant round, even though it'll just be 1 to 3 inches there. And as we look at our own extended forecast, we are dealing with a fairly tame weather pattern here for the next few days. We look good with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Temperatures will slowly ramp up. You'll see that reflected in the overnight lows, eventually into the 60s, and the daytime highs eventually climb to 70 again on Sunday, and then a stronger storm system will bring some widespread rain into the area on Monday. Temperatures will be around 71 degrees. Behind that system, there will be a significant drop in temperature, so get ready for some cooler air into the middle of next week. We're going to send it back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This summer I was in Germany on holiday with my family, and on a whim one day my son and I joined a speed sliding competition. And as I came down the water slide, I went straight down in the pool and whacked my left foot on the bottom of the pool. And I looked down and I didn't see a foot. I just saw the bones sticking out, and I started to feel faint. I was ambulanced to a hospital where I stayed for 11 days and had surgery. I had snapped all the ligaments on both sides of my ankle. And in the middle of all this stress and pain, we thought, how are we going to deal with health insurance? How will we pay for this? And I got a response from Allison at BF&M, and she said, your admission and surgery will be covered at 100%. I didn't have to put it on a credit card and deal with a reimbursement later. It made such a big difference to us. And for me, the BF&M difference is stress-free insurance when I really needed it.
Meet Cal. Cal is a consumer. Just a year ago, Cal didn't know much about industry regulation or why it even mattered. Then Cal went to a town hall meeting, read the flyer sent to his house, and looked at the regulatory authority's new website. He even did some research on his own. Now he can see how regulating electricity protects consumers and ensures our power supply is safe, reliable, and sustainable. And he knows more about the regulations that improve the overall service of Bermuda's phone, internet, and cable companies. And there's more to look forward to. In 2019, the authority will share information on important matters like the cost of electricity, consumer protection regulations, and net neutrality, also known as open internet. You too can start learning today at the authority's website and stay up to date with all that we're doing on our Facebook page. For 2019, the Regulatory Authority wishes you a safe, happy, and well-informed year.
Thanks for staying with us. We often tend to talk about issues affecting young people without actually involving young people in the discussion. Well, that's about to change. This Friday at 7:30 p.m. at the Heritage Worship Center on Donald Street in Hamilton, there will be a panel discussion on youth issues led by young people themselves. Gary Moreno spoke with two of the organizers, Maya Joseph and Yaiwan Darrell, to find out more about the event.
First of all, Maya and Yaiwan, tell us what exactly this event is going to be about.
This is a Bermuda youth panel where we're talking about the topics that Bermudian youth face. on a daily basis. These include gang violence, bullying, suicide, and marijuana.
I understand you're going to be speaking on specific topics. What are you going to be talking about?
Suicide and teen suicide and gang violence in Bermuda. You can expect to hear the reasons why things happen like this and ways we can prevent it from happening. We all have done our research on the specific topics, so if I say something, then anybody else in the panel can also say stuff as well.
Now, Yaiwan, what's going to be your area of focus?
My main focus would be during the panel to discuss marijuana's influence on the lives of youth, as well as how that can affect gang violence in the long term, which links into what she's talking about.
So what format is the discussion going to take?
What we're going to do is, first of all, introduce our own ideas and our own point of view of the topic. For example, my topic with marijuana, I'll be looking at decriminalization and legalizing and the benefits that will come from that, as well as the possible cons to that. But it will be in sort of a debate manner where if Maya does not share the same belief as me, she will be able to speak up and give her own point of view, also backed with facts and things like that, so that it is a factual discussion that we can have that informs the public.
And Maya, adults tend to trivialize the issues that you're discussing and tend to think they're just passing phases when it comes to young people. We're wrong, aren't we?
We think that it doesn't mean anything when a teenager tells you what they're going through because we're young and we don't understand, basically, but they're real problems, and I think we should listen more, basically, to what people
Adults
are saying.
should listen more.
And kids. We can both listen to each other and have a understanding of what each of us are talking about.
So what prompted you to get involved in this?
I have a strong belief in certain topics, and I think that it's beneficial for both the youth of Bermuda and the older generations of Bermuda to understand what we're going through and how we're talking about it in different ways. We can both all work together to prevent these issues.
And you?
Well, I'm just very interested in just highlighting these things that, like Maya said, a lot of older people would say that, oh, we're overreacting as youth, or what we are experiencing now is nothing compared to what it was back in the day. But I'm just here to try to dispel those, and that's one of the main reasons I wanted to be a part of this. We strongly encourage our peers to come to be a part of the discussion, to hear our points of views, as well as be able to share their own as part of the audience. But we also would like to encourage our peers' parents to come, and their grandparents or their families, whoever they can bring, who also needs a deeper understanding of the pressing issues that are going on in society, especially for youth.
Two of the island's many promising young people there. Again, the discussion takes place at the Heritage Worship Center on Dundonald Street in Hamilton and starts at 7:30 p.m. Still to come, Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes.
Red or white seedless grapes, hot price only $3.99 per pound. Fresh beef round stew beef, $6.99 per pound. ShopRite broccoli florets, 16-ounce bag, hot price $2.99. Kellogg's Fruit Loops, 19.4-ounce box, family size, hot price $8.49. Save $1.60 on Purex liquid laundry detergent, 50-ounce bottle, hot price $4.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Surface Terms has been serving Bermuda for over 25 years, supplying and installing tile and natural stone. We have a large in-stock selection of beautiful porcelain wood planking, including our exclusive Bermuda cedar tile. You will also find Bermuda's best in-stock selection of countertops, including natural granites, exotic quartzites, and silestone engineered quartz in all the newest colors. Our team will be happy to help you. Stop by our showroom at 17 Serpentine Road or give us a call at 295-8005.
At the Bermuda Festival, exciting shows will take center stage in 2019. In January, we feature Paul Taylor 2 Dance Company performing the signature group and solo pieces by legendary choreographer Paul Taylor. A Midsummer Night's Dream, the classic Shakespearean comedy follows. With a British cast and international creative team, this new production will feature Bollywood-style choreography. For tickets, visit PTix or BermudaFestival.org. Celebrating the empowerment of women, She is Art. 44th Annual Bermuda Festival.
Sport now, and International Race Weekend is upon us. CONCACAF and UEFA will meet in Bermuda this weekend, and the Bermuda-born swimmer competes in the USA. Earl Basin has the details and much more in tonight's Sports Report.
Well, come this Friday evening, right here along Front Street, will be the start of the International Race Weekend, with the Front Street Mile getting underway at 6 p.m. History was made in this event last year as Dage Miners became the first Bermudian to win the elite male race, while Angela Picarillo won the elite women's race. And then on Saturday morning, all eyes turned to the National Sports Center for the start and finish of the 10K. Dare Kamal from Ethiopia and Kamara McDonald from Jamaica were crowned the 10K male and female champions. And then things will come to an end right here again on Front Street as the half and full marathons will start and finish along here. Dare Kamal and Dara Filut won the half marathon, while Bermudian Tyler Butterfield and Rochelle Johnson won the full marathon. CONCACAF will hold the first in a series of regional executive leadership forums in Bermuda this weekend. We asked the Bermuda Football Association President Mark Wade how Bermuda was chosen.
Sure, Earl. The leadership forums will be held across the region. The objective of them to bring smaller MA presidents and the general secretaries together to discuss various topics related to governance, good practices, administration, etc. So in Bermuda will be hosted the first one, and we will have English-speaking countries here. Bermuda was chosen primarily for our record of integrity and our record of administration that stands fairly high and fairly respected in the region.
Mr. President, what is the objective of the meeting and what are you expecting to hear?
Well, we expect to delve a little deeper into the different areas of good governance and best practices as far as administration is concerned. So I'm sure there'll be some chats about transparency, maybe some real sort of details in terms of efficiencies and making meetings more efficient, this sort of things, and communication obviously with the members of the different federations and how you can improve on communication. So some of this stuff we expect to hear.
Bermudian-born Jade Hanna competed in the TYR Pro Swimming Series in Knoxville, Tennessee. Hanna finished third in the preliminary round of the women's 50 long course meter backstroke with a time of 28:50 to advance to the A final. In the women's A final, Hanna would finish fifth with a time of 28:45. In the women's 100 meter backstroke preliminaries, Hanna would finish tied 11th, touching the wall in a time of 1:02:02. This time would see the 16-year-old advance to the B final. Hanna would touch the wall in a time of 1:01:17 during the B final to finish in second place. The Minister of Labor, Community Affairs and Sports, Levita Fogo, congratulated Bermuda Sakai Famous on breaking the Bermuda National Indoor Women's High Jump record over the weekend. As we reported on Monday, Famous, representing the University of Georgia at the UAB Blazer Invitational, cleared the 1.77-meter height on her second attempt, breaking the national indoor record that was previously held by LaTroya Darrell at a height of 1.72 meters. Meanwhile, Malik Joel and Sejan Harvey represented St. Johnsbury Academy men's track and field team at the Dartmouth Relays. Joel finished 13th, competing in the men's varsity 600 meters with a time of 1:27.74. During the men's varsity 1,000-meter race, Harvey finished 11th, stopping the clock in a time of 1:43.07. Joel would lead off, and Harvey would run the second leg for the St. Johnsbury varsity 4x400-meter relay team that finished 8th with a time of 3:41.15. With a time of 8:57.72, the St. Johnsbury men's varsity 4x800-meter relay team that would see Joe lead off and Harvey run the second leg finished 14th. Dylan Muldoon and his number 18th nationally ranked Bates men's squash teammates dropped a pair of 5-game matches and a pair of 4-game matches in a 7-2 loss to number 21 ranked Williams. Muldoon, playing in the number 9 position, would go down in straight games 11-5, 11-6, 11-6 to Ben Eisenberg. Amali Smith and her University of Wilberforce women's basketball teammates defeated Lourdes 63-52. Smith will come off the bench and play just 1 minute, grabbing a rebound. In commercial league bowling action at the Warwick Lanes, it saw the Braves defeat We Do It Big 4-0. The league leaders BPS Blue Lanterns defeated Sweet Life 4-0, while the Pin Pushers defeated the Superstars 4-0. The Spinners got by Cool Runnings 3-1, with BLDC 10-Pin Mafia defeating the Secret Weapons 3-1. The match between BTC and the Sunset ended 2-2. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Thanks, Earl. And that's our program for this evening. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you tomorrow at the same time. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.